The celestial horizon drifted through the Andromeda sector, a speck of metal and hope among infinite stars. August sat in the pilot's chair, his calloused hands dancing across holographic controls as he monitored their trajectory. The ship hummed, a sound he'd grown to love over 3 years of deep space hauling. Behind him, in the cargo bay converted to living quarters, Leilani pressed her face against the observation window. She was 7 standard years old, with dark eyes that reflected nebulae and a spirit that somehow remained unbroken despite everything. Her family, refugees from the Kepler 442 evacuation, had boarded the Horizon 6 months ago, along with 200 others fleeing the Exatheory expansion. August, her voice crackled through the comm system, small and uncertain that he tapped his earpiece. "What's up, kiddo? How far are we from Earth?" August checked the navigation display. Numbers scrolled past, incomprehensible distances measured in light years. About 2 million light years, give or take. Silence stretched between them, filled only by the ship's mechanical breathing. "Then Santa won't find us." August's hands froze above the controls. He turned slowly, looking through the reinforced glass that separated the cockpit from the main cabin. Leilani stood there, her small frame wrapped in an oversized thermal blanket, tears streaming down her face. December 24th. He'd lost track of Earth dates, but the calendar didn't lie. Christmas Eve, by the old reckoning. The calendar that meant nothing out here, where human traditions dissolved into the cosmic dark. "Leilani," he started. "He couldn't find us even if he tried," she continued, her voice breaking. "We're too far. We're too lost. And I was good this year, August. I was really, really good. I helped Mom with the rationing. I didn't complain when the heat cyclers failed. I shared my protein bars with the little ones." Her shoulders shook. But he'll never know. August felt something crack in his chest, something he'd thought had calcified during the war, during the retreat, during the long years of watching humanity scatter across the galaxy like seeds in a storm. He stood abruptly, nearly hitting his head on the low cockpit ceiling. His fingers flew across the navigation console, pulling up star charts, plotting vectors, calculating fuel consumption with a desperation that surprised him. "August, to all passengers," he announced over the ship's PA system. "We're making an unscheduled course correction. Secure all loose items. Some turbulence ahead." The ship's AI, a Procyon-built navigator named Iris, materialized beside him in soft blue light. "Lieutenant August, this deviation will cost us 17% additional fuel and add 4 weeks to our journey. The refugees expect override authorization, August 77 Delta. Confirmed, but I must protest. Protest logged." August grabbed the manual controls, feeling the ship respond to his touch like a living thing. The celestial horizon wasn't built for what he had in mind, but she was human-made, and human ships had always been tougher than they looked. They dove. August pushed the engines beyond their recommended limits, angling the ship toward a nearby stellar cluster, a dense formation of young stars that blazed blue and white against the void. The ship shuddered, hull plating groaning as he threaded between gravitational wells, using each star's pull to slingshot them faster, deeper into the cluster's heart. Behind him, he heard the passengers stirring, voices raised in confusion and fear. But he didn't stop. In the cargo bay, Leilani gripped a support beam, watching stars blur past the window like tears of light. August pushed harder. The engines screamed their protest, temperature warnings flashing red across every display. He ignored them all, his eyes fixed on his destination, a young supergiant at the cluster's center, its surface roiling with stellar storms that lit up the darkness for light years in every direction. "August, the hull temperature is critical," Iris warned. "I know. The passengers are frightened. I know. What are you doing?" August didn't answer. He brought the horizon to a halt, relatively speaking, positioning them in a stable orbit around the supergiant. The star filled their viewports, a massive sphere of nuclear fury that made their ship seem like a grain of sand beside a bonfire. But oh, how it burned. How it blazed. August opened the ship-wide channel again. All passengers to the observation deck. Now, they came slowly, hesitantly. Families clutching children, elderly refugees leaning on makeshift canes, survivors all of them. 200 souls who'd lost everything, who carried their worlds in whatever they could fit in their arms. Leilani stood at the front, her mother's hand on her shoulder. August emerged from the cockpit, tall and scarred, wearing the jacket of a United Earth Defense Force pilot, a relic from another life. He moved through the crowd until he stood before Leilani. "You know what humans are really good at?" he asked, kneeling to meet her eyes. She shook her head. "We're good at being stubborn, at refusing to let the universe tell us what's possible." He gestured toward the viewport, toward the blazing star. "You said Santa couldn't find us out here. Maybe you're right. Maybe Earth's Santa, with his reindeer and his sleigh, can't cross 2 million light years." He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small package, something he'd been saving, something wrapped in precious, hoarded paper. "But we're humans, Leilani, and we carry our traditions with us, even into the dark. Especially into the dark." He pressed the package into her hands. "Maybe Santa couldn't find us, but I did. And I served with men and women who died so kids like you could have a future, so you could celebrate, so you could believe." Leilani unwrapped the package with trembling fingers. Inside was a small stuffed animal, a dog, worn and clearly loved, with button eyes and stitched paws. "That was my sister's," August said quietly. "Her name was Maya. She didn't make it off Kepler 442. He swallowed hard. She'd want you to have it." Tears fell freely down Leilani's face now, but they were different tears. August stood, addressing the crowd. "Christmas isn't a place. It's not Earth or any planet. It's what we choose to carry in our hearts, what we refuse to abandon no matter how far we drift." He pointed at the supergiant blazing outside. "We're 2 million light years from home, but we're still here, still human, still together." Someone began to sing, an old carol, voice cracking and uncertain. Another joined in, then another. Soon the entire observation deck rang with voices, imperfect and beautiful, singing songs their ancestors had sung beneath alien stars. Leilani clutched the stuffed dog to her chest and looked up at August. "Thank you," she whispered. He nodded, unable to speak past the lump in his throat. Later, as the celestial horizon resumed its journey, August returned to the cockpit. Iris flickered beside him. "That was illogical," the AI observed. "Probably. It was also very human." August smiled, watching the stars. "Yeah, it was." And somewhere in the infinite dark, 2 million light years from Earth, a little girl slept peacefully, holding hope in her arms, while a stubborn human pilot kept watch over them all, because that's what humans do.